Welcome back to the channel. I will now be reviewing all of Sunday's games of Week 3, starting with the New Orleans Saints and the Carolina Panthers. I did predict that the New Orleans Saints would get the victory, but unfortunately it was not meant to be, as Baker Mayfield got his first victory in the NFC with the Carolina Panthers. They are now both sitting at 1-2 heading into week number 4. The Houston Texans and the Chicago Bears. I did predict that the Chicago Bears would win. It was an ugly win, and it was a lot closer than a lot of people had expected, but they got the win nonetheless. They are now sitting at 2-1, while the Houston Texans are 0-2-1 heading into week 4. The Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts. In a game that I did predict that Patrick Mahomes would get the victory, unfortunately, it was not meant to be, as Matt Ryan got his first win in the AFC with the Indianapolis Colts. The Colts are now 1-1-1, while the Chiefs fell to 2-1 heading into week 4. The Buffalo Bills and the Miami Dolphins, a game for the ages. And if you're a Bills fan, this is going to be a tough pill to swallow. I did predict that they would win, but unfortunately, they just came up short. And now they're 2-1, while the Miami Dolphins are how do you put it, like by far the best team in all of football. I mean, 3-0, and there's only a few teams that can say they're still perfect. So for the Dolphins, they are now sitting pretty at the number one top spot in the AFC East. The Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. I did predict that the Minnesota Vikings would get the victory, and sure enough, they just came through, and they are now sitting at 2-1 heading into week 4, while the Lions, unfortunately, are at 1-2 heading into next week. The Baltimore Ravens and the New England Patriots. I did predict that the Baltimore Ravens would win, and they are looking like a better team this year. As I've said in the past, as long as Lamar Jackson can stay healthy, they are a contender year in and year out. So the Ravens are at 2-1, while the Patriots fell to 1-2. The Cincinnati Bengals finally got their first win of the season as they took down the New York Jets. Both teams are now sitting at 1-2. For the Jets, obviously it was kind of expected that they got the fluke win against the Browns last week, and they were not able to get the sweep against the other rival Ohio State team in the Bengals. For the Bengals, a much-needed win. You can say 3 weeks might be too early to hit the panic button, but if you fall to 0-3, you're in a lot of trouble, and it's hard to make up that ground. So good on Joe Cool for finally getting the first W of the season. 2 winless teams headed into this action as the Las Vegas Raiders and Tennessee Titans took battle, and what came down to a late touchdown, but unfortunately the 2-point conversion was not able to be completed as the Tennessee Titans finally get their first win of the 2022 season, while the Raiders fall to 0-3. And I should say, sorry, I'm going to go back for a sec. I should say I did pick the Titans to win. No, I picked the Raiders to win, and obviously they fell short. Now getting back to the action. The Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. I did pick the Eagles to win, and what a blowout win it was. Jalen Hurts, I do apologize, truly is a remarkable quarterback and is the key centerpiece for this Eagles' success going forward. So the Eagles are now sitting pretty at 3-0, while the Washington Commanders fell to 1-2. The Jacksonville Jaguars and the Los Angeles Chargers. And what has to be, I don't want to say it was an upset because I don't want to disrespect the Jaguars. They're a good team, a good upcoming team, I should say, while the Chargers are also a good team with Justin Herbert, but unfortunately they did not look very well at all, as the Jacksonville Jaguars got the humongous 38-10 win, and they are now sitting at 2-1, while the Los Angeles Chargers fall to 1-2. The Los Angeles Rams, the other LA team, took on the Arizona Cardinals, and I did predict that Matthew Stafford would get the W in this one, and sure enough, he got the win as the Rams now improved to 2-1, and the Cardinals unfortunately fell to 1-2. in what has to be, I want to say a shocking win, but not shocking at the same time. I did pick the Seahawks to take down the Atlanta Falcons, but the Falcons ultimately came away with the victory, as both teams are 1-2 heading into Week 4. The Green Bay Packers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Aaron Rodgers finally, and I mean finally, got the monkey off his back. Well, for the time being, as he finally got his second win against Tom Brady, all being with not just with the Buccaneers but with the Patriots as well, as he's now is 2-3, I do believe, against Tom Brady. And for the Buccaneers, obviously they were 2-0, and both teams are now 2-1 heading into Week 4. Should they meet in the postseason, obviously the Packers would have home field advantage, as they did beat Tampa Bay in the regular season. But only time will tell. Will this be the last game we see Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers, or will they meet once again in the postseason? Again, we have to wait for the playoffs, which are still 18 weeks away. And the Sunday night matchup. And for a game that I expected to see more than just 2 touchdowns, unfortunately that's all we got, as it was an 11-10 score. Very rare to see a score like this in the NFL, but obviously Jimmy G stepped out of bounds. 2 points went to the Broncos, and yeah. So the San Francisco 49ers, they fall to 1-2 on the season, while the Denver Broncos improve to 2-1, heading into Week 4. I will be making my preview for Monday night's game in my next video. Until then, take care.